Hello everyone, my name is Alana. Welcome to my channel. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And give this video a like. Up Young Sheldon Season 7. Release date, cast, story, trailer, and all the information we know is a directory that includes this page. The showrunner warns that Young Sheldon Season 7 might be shorter than anticipated. Images from the Young Sheldon Season 7 premiere display Cooper family life, back home and Mary in Germany. In Young Sheldon's impending Season 7, George Sr.'s death might be unavoidable. Since its premiere in 2017, CBS, the show's host network, has renewed Young Sheldon through at least Season 7. Seasons 5 and 6 of the sitcom have been getting much heavier than previous seasons, which took a lighter, humorous approach to the Cooper family and Sheldon's antics. It has changed much from the family comedy it started out as, with Mary being expelled from the church, Georgie lying to Mandy, and then unintentionally getting her pregnant, and George Sr. losing his job. Unfortunately, the Cooper family's next few years have already been set up by the Big Bang Theory, and things are not going to get any easier. Since the debut of Young Sheldon, there has been speculation that George Sr.'s death was imminent, but it now seems as though Season 7 would be his final. Related, Young Sheldon creates the finale of Big Bang Theory plot hole worse for the Nobel Prize. It is known that George Sr. passes away at the age of 14 because of the Big Bang Theory. Ian Armitage, the actor, is actually 14 years old, but the creators of the popular prequel have maintained his age in Season 6 closer to 12. Since George Sr.'s death would fundamentally alter the nature of the show, it is obvious that they are attempting to postpone the inevitable story of his death. However, according to the original timetable, the event is most likely to take place in Season 7, since Sheldon will be 14 by then. As Ian Armitage ages, the network has an acting problem because Sheldon is only 12 currently. In 2023, he will become 15, so more complex plot lines. They can't postpone things like George's death any longer because they've been put off long enough. George has a serious drinking problem that is mentioned in TBBT, and he has had heart issues for years in the Young Sheldon universe. The authors will probably only have one more season to set up his death. However, it is unclear if he will pass away from a heart attack or alcohol-related problems. His death is also unlikely to happen in the current Season 6, because there is one more plot point that needs to be resolved. Additionally, in accordance with TBT canon, Sheldon discovers George having an affair at the age of 13 after the passing of his father a year later. Given how their connection has been discussed and hinted at over the last few seasons, it is reasonable to presume that this woman will be Brenda. Although Sheldon's age hasn't been revealed in Season 6 yet, the next episodes might confirm that he will be 13 before revealing George's infidelity. The sitcom Young Sheldon may be ending because CBS has not renewed it for Season 8. Season 7 will have a far more somber tone if Season 6 delves into George's infidelity, with Brenda and Sheldon catching them. Young Sheldon will probably have a bittersweet conclusion in Season 7, with Mandy giving birth to her child and George Sr. passing away. Hold onto your hats, Young Sheldon fans. We're diving into one of the most shocking twists in the show's history. George Cooper Sr., Sheldon's beloved father, has been a crucial part of the story for years, but in Young Sheldon Season 7, the writers took a bold, unexpected step by killing off George. While fans are still processing this devastating loss, one thing is clear. George's death was actually the most logical move the show could have made. Yes, you heard that right. Here's why George's tragic death is the perfect narrative choice, even if it breaks our hearts. The shocking moment we've been keeping up with Young Sheldon and know the backstory of Sheldon Cooper's life in the Big Bang Theory, George's death isn't exactly a surprise. In the Big Bang Theory, Sheldon often mentions the tragic passing of his father, George, and in Season 4, Episode 4, The Zidon isolation. Sheldon briefly refers to it as an event that shaped his future in ways we can't even imagine. It's something Sheldon never fully processed, and it's been teased for seasons now that young Sheldon would eventually catch up to the timeline of The Big Bang Theory. For years, fans speculated when and how George's death would occur in young Sheldon. Would it be an off-screen event, a slow burn over multiple seasons, or would the show suddenly throw us into the heartbreaking moment when it finally happens? Well, in Young Sheldon Season 7, Episode 15, the writers chose to make it an emotional gut punch that no one saw coming. The sudden death of George Cooper Sr. is a pivotal moment that propels Sheldon's character arc, sets the stage for future developments, and somehow makes the most sense. Why George's death was inevitable. You might be asking, why did young Sheldon have to kill off George now? Well, here's why it's not just a shocking choice, it's a necessary one for the show's narrative. The Big Bang Theory's timeline, the biggest reason George's death in young Sheldon makes sense is that it aligns perfectly with the Big Bang Theory timeline. As we already know from Sheldon's references throughout the original series, George passed away when Sheldon was still a teenager, which means it was only a matter of time before young Sheldon reached this moment. The writers had to tie up George's story in a way that respected both the prequel and the original show's continuity, and this death marks a natural progression toward that end. Sheldon's emotional development, Sheldon's entire character arc in The Big Bang Theory revolves around the strained, sometimes distant relationship he had with his father. George's death plays a critical role in shaping the Sheldon we come to know in the original show. By killing off George and young Sheldon, the showrunners are laying the groundwork for Sheldon's emotional growth and the long-term effects this loss has on his relationship with his family. Sheldon's grief over his father's death is something he's never really addressed in The Big Bang Theory, and this moment offers an opportunity to show how that loss shaped his worldview and his relationships with his mother, Mary, and brother, Georgie. The development of Mary and Georgie. Let's not forget that George's death doesn't just impact Sheldon, it also affects Mary and Georgie. Mary, Sheldon's ever-dedicated mother, has always been portrayed as the emotional backbone of the Cooper family, but George's death pushes her to navigate life as a single mother. She'll have to adjust to this new reality while also grappling with her grief. Georgie, Sheldon's older brother, is also deeply affected by their father's passing. This opens up new, exciting character development opportunities for both of them, something the show has been building toward for seasons. Bringing closure to George's character. While George Cooper Sr. was a loving father and husband, his character was often shown as flawed, making mistakes that hurt his family and sometimes leading to complicated moments with Sheldon. His sudden death offers closure to the character, allowing the show to explore the impact of his loss and give audiences a chance to reflect on his legacy. This creates an opportunity to provide depth to George's character, something young Sheldon has been building up over time. Although he wasn't a perfect dad, George's death forces the family to reckon with his mistakes and learn to grow from them, and that's a powerful storytelling choice. While it makes sense from a narrative perspective, George's death has left many fans devastated. Young Sheldon has always had a lighter tone than The Big Bang Theory, and the idea of losing one of the main characters, especially the father figure, feels like a jarring shift in the show's dynamic. For fans who've grown attached to George and the whole Cooper family, the thought of him being taken from us so abruptly is heartbreaking. Here's why fans are divided. Emotional attachment to George. George had his flaws, but he was still a fun and relatable character who brought a lot of heart to the show. His death is a difficult loss for viewers who've invested in his journey, and many are wondering how the show will proceed without him. Fans are grieving, and it's going to take some time before the dust settles. Young Sheldon has always been a coming-of-age story, but this tragic twist signals a shift in the show's tone. Some fans are worried that this darker direction might undermine the lighthearted charm that has made the show so popular. Could this mark the beginning of a shift in young Sheldon's overall tone and style? The impact on Sheldon. Sheldon's reaction to his father's death will undoubtedly be a major plot point in future episodes, but some fans are anxious about how the show will handle such a sensitive subject. Sheldon has always been emotionally distant, so how will he cope with this overwhelming loss? Fans are concerned that the show might not do justice to the grief Sheldon is bound to feel. So, what does this mean for the future of young Sheldon? The writers have a massive opportunity to dive deeper into Sheldon's emotional growth, exploring how his relationship with Mary and Georgie evolves after George's passing. Will Sheldon finally begin to reconcile with the emotional complexities of his childhood? Will Mary grow into an even stronger, more independent character? And what about Georgie? How will his relationship with Sheldon change as they both process the loss of their father in different ways? There's so much potential for compelling storytelling in the wake of George's death. The show now has the chance to bring in fresh conflicts, deeper emotional stakes, and more complex family dynamics. This could be the turning point that elevates young Sheldon to new heights. While George's death is undeniably heartbreaking, it is, without a doubt, the most sensible decision for the direction of young Sheldon. It ties in with the events of The Big Bang Theory, sets the stage for Sheldon's future growth, and opens the door for more emotional, character-driven storytelling. As hard as it is to say goodbye to George, his death is a crucial moment that ultimately makes young Sheldon more impactful and meaningful. It's a tough but necessary step forward in the show's evolution, and one that will leave a lasting impact on fans for years to come. Do you agree that George's death was the best move for young Sheldon, or are you still processing the loss? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and stay with us.